Good morning and welcome to all the listeners tuning in to today's matchup at Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park. It is 8 a.m. here on the West Coast, which means it's ball time. We are bringing you today's Men's National Baseball Championship action, where the Ilderton Red Army face off against the St. John's Capitals via Go Live broadcasts. Of course, headed by Mr. Producer Chris J. Cox in the truck and the camera crew alongside him. My name is Jameson Schultz-Franco, and I'll be the voice for today's matchup. So a quick look here at the starting lineups for the St. John's Capitals. Number 3, Trevor Clark at shortstop. Number 1, Parker Gulliver, the designated hitter for St. John's Capitals. Number 22, Brent Power, the second baseman. Number 25, Troy Croft, the first baseman. Number 41, Andrew Paul, the right fielder. Number 16, John Cribb, the catcher. Number 51, Aaron Flood. You'll see him out in left field as that ball's fouled high into the back net. Number 27, Redmond Hunt is at third base. And number 7, Daniel Rice is out in center field. Now, at the mound, we have number 34, Matt Colburn. He's the starting pitcher today for the Capitals. He is a 6'2" lefty out of Corner Brook, Newfoundland, and one of many juniors on the St. John's Capitals side, which means he has a 115 pitch limit in today's matchup. So he will walk the first batter there. That's number 18, Alex Thrower. So next up to bat for the Ilderton Red Army, we have number 19, Mitch Lumley. So Ilderton thus far with a 1-2 record, and they were held scoreless until yesterday. And they did have a whopping 9 runs scored for, as the starting pitcher there for the Capitals checks the runner at first base. Thrower had 4 stolen bases in yesterday's game, and there it is. There's his fifth of the last 2 games there. So Thrower definitely known as a speed demon, as I was saying yesterday. The man definitely has fast legs. So thus far, Newfoundland having some trouble with consistency in the tournament. They had a 6-1 loss versus Quebec in their first match, as that one smacked to center field by Mitch Lumley. So, it's dropped by the St. John's Capitals center fielder as Alex Thrower stopped at third base. So, carrying on of momentum by the Ilderton Red Army from yesterday. Although that was Mitch Lumley didn't hit that too far away from the fielder, it was a big mess up in the center field. So Daniel Rice is sure to be very displeased with himself there. So the shortstop up next for the Ilderton Red Army, that'd be number 5, Nolan Anderson. So as I was saying before, the St. John's Capitals with a 6-1 loss versus Quebec in their first match, and then a 5-1 win versus Alberta. And while understanding that, yes, these 2 opponents faced are quite different teams, results do matter. So Nolan Anderson being one of the players that we should keep an eye on today for the Ilderton Red Army. He led the way in the field yesterday, and quite good execution for sure, and quite disciplined. That's another error there at shortstop. However, he will get it to first base for the out, still meaning that Ilderton scored their first run of the day here in the top of the first. So although Nolan Anderson will get out at first, he will bring 1 run home. So the left fielder, number 37, Ryan Hartig, up to bat now. That one just dropping below the strike zone for ball 1. So that man who just got out there, number 5, Nolan Anderson, he quite disciplined with the bat at about a 273 average coming into today's game. So Colborne looking on for a ball 2 there. That one hit hard down to the third baseman. He will full extension dive, but still fumbling it. So that will mean a base hit for number 37. So a few breaks here early on for the junior, Mr. Colborne here at the mound. Ilderton off to a hot start for sure. Mitch Lumley on third base and Ryan Hartig on first. So at the plate now is number 36, Andrew Firth. He is the designated hitter today for the Red Army. So Colborne looking on now. That one a little inside and called for ball 1. So it's 12 degrees Celsius here in Victoria, BC, and about a 70% chance of precipitation. As I was walking up to the commentary box this morning, there was a few droplets coming down. However, the game will carry on. So Ryan Hartig will steal the second base there as ball 3 is pitched. Moving the count to 3-0 here for the Capitals. So Andrew Firth in good position here as he takes time at the plate. Man on second and a man on third. So check that. The count is now 3-0. So Colborne looking on now. Called for strike 1. 3-1 the count. 1 down here in the top of the first inning. That one hit hard to the shortstop and fumbled. A little bit of a pop-up there as Ilderton Red Army, Mitch Lumley comes across the home plate. So a little bit of sloppy fielding this morning from the St. John's Capitals. It is an 8 a.m. game, but no excuses here in the Men's National Championships 2018. So the first baseman up now, number 27, Rob Wakefield. He's got a man on first and a man on second. The Twin Towers, as I like to say. Ryan Hartig and Andrew Firth, both around 6'2", 6'3" range. That one hit hard and high to shallow center field, and we'll see about the communication here for the St. John's Capitals. So he will take that as the Ilderton Red Army tags up on first and second. So the second out here for Matt Colborne. So Hayden Woodley coming up to the plate now, the right fielder for the Red Army. As he steals third and second. However, the ball is fouled, so they'll have to take a long walk back to the base they were at. So the 21-year-old looking on now with 2 outs here at the top of the first. 2 runs scored thus far by the Red Army. That one just chipped over the second baseman's head as I believe that's Ryan Hartig crossing home plate. So another run scored here for the Ilderton Red Army. A solid start this morning as they pick up the momentum that they set yesterday in the 9-6 win versus British Columbia. So a little bit of coaching going on here at the mound. The 21-year-old for St. John's Capitals has got some experience. However, he's been unlucky in the top of the first inning here. So the catcher up to the plate now as he takes time. That would be number 32, Taylor Patterson. He's got 2 out, and a man on first and a man on second. That one washed as it's called strike in the dead center of the strike zone. That one quite far, high and outside. Count is 1-1. So 2-1 the count now for the St. John's Capitals. Taylor Patterson with some breathing room here. That one swung on hard as it's tipped to the catcher to make the count 2-2. So Matt Colborne with a chance here to end the inning for the Red Army, and he will fail as the pitch is smacked down center field as the runner around third base is called to stop. So solid start here for the Red Army. The bases are loaded early on. So Matt Colburn had a chance with a 2-2 count. However, the catcher for the Red Army, Taylor Patterson, having a little bit of a rip down center field as the head coach for the St. John's Capitals is coming out now to have a chat with Matt Colburn. It is still the top of the first inning, so it would be quite an early time to change the pitching. So I assume it's just a quick chat. So a quick chance now to introduce the umpires for today's game. At home plate, we have Sean Sullivan. At first base, we have David Ford. And the third base umpire, Andrew Downs. So Colburn just pitching a little inside there to make the count 0-1. So the tail of the lineup in now, number 8, the second baseman, Jordan Kamara. That one hit hard. And taken well to end the inning by the second baseman for St. John's Capitals. I believe that was Brent Power. What a take over his head there. So 3 runs scored in the top of the first inning for the Ilderton Red Army, facing off against the St. John's Capitals out of Newfoundland. So moving into the bottom of the first inning now, things are 3-0 for the Red Army on Go Live Broadcasts.
Keep him tight.
Thanks for being here, man.
No problem. Sorry about that for being late.
So into the bottom of the first inning we go here for the Ilderton Red Army. At the mound we have number 10 Dustin Godden out of Brampton, Ontario. Standing at around 5'11". He's a righty. So at the plate now we have number 3 Trevor Clark, the shortstop for the St. John's Capitals. So just a quick look at the starting lineup here for the Ilderton Red Army. The center fielder, number 18, Alex Thrower. That one's called ball, just a little bit high. Number 19, Mitch Lumley, the third baseman. Number 5, Nolan Anderson, the shortstop. Number 37, Ryan Hartig, the left fielder. And number 36, Andrew Firth, the designated hitter for today, as that one's popped up high, but still in the range of the first baseman, I believe. He will take that for the first out of the inning, as number 3, Trevor Clark, goes down on a fly ball. So after the designated hitter, we have number 27, Rob Wakefield. You can see him at first base as he just took that catch. Number 42, Hayden Woodley, the right fielder for the Red Army. Number 32, Taylor Patterson behind the plate catching. That one's called strike to make the count 0-1. And to finish off the starting lineup for the Red Army, we have number 8, Jordan Kamara. And you can catch him standing at second base. So Dustin Godden looking to have a decent pitching outing thus far with 2 outs in the first 2 batters. So Godden yet to pitch a game in this tournament, so not a bad time to come up to pitch in the last game of the Red Army's tournament. The record at the moment is 1-2, as I said before. So if they win this game, they will advance to 2-2. I'm not sure yet where that puts them in terms of a playoff picture, as that first pitch is called ball. But this is potentially the Red Army's last game of the tournament. That one called strike to move the count to 1-1. So number 22, Brent Power, the second baseman, who took the very nice overhead catch to end the top of the first inning, at the plate now.
Hey Chris, can you hear me?
That one's just a little bit low, so to move the count to 2-1. Looked as though batter was tempted to get a piece of that, but he decides not to swing, and it would be still called a strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. That one fumbled around by the catcher, but moving the count to a full count here. So 2 down and a full count here for Dustin Godden, the starting pitcher for the Red Army, and looking on to the batter. Swung on and missed. However, I believe there was an error in the count there, or that could have been actually fouled back. A little bit of a tip there, actually, so that the count remains full. Dustin Godden still gets a piece of it, and a little bit of a miscommunication there. I believe the first baseman could have got there, but he decides not to go for it, and it will result in Brent Power reaching first base. So the first man on base for the Capitals here. Few hops and a skip from the second baseman Brent Power standing at first base. So number 25 Troy Croft at the plate now. That one swung on and hit hard, however it is foul ball into the bleachers. So the dugouts are involved in this 8 a.m. special here in the Men's National 2018 as time is taken at the plate. That one hit hard to the second baseman and collected comfortably to get the third out of the bottom of the first inning. So the St. John's Capitals held scoreless here in the bottom of the first inning as the Ilderton Red Army cruised their way to the top of the second. And they're 3 runs up here on Go Live Broadcasts, bringing you action from the Men's National Baseball Championships 2018 at Royal Athletic Park.
Yeah. They block all sounds outside. You can't hear anything from the outside.
So welcome back to Go Live Broadcast here at the top of the second inning. There will be a pitching change for the St. John's Capitals. The junior Matt Colburn, who was in before, just being taken out after he was hit for 3 runs in the top of the first inning. So in now will be Riley King, the right-handed pitcher out of Gander, Newfoundland, standing at around 6'1". We'll see how he does today. So back to the top of the lineup we go here for the Red Army as the first pitch is called strike. Alex Thrower, number 18, the center fielder at the plate now. Second pitch called ball to move the count to 1-1, just a little outside. That one hit hard down the center of the field to get Alex Thrower on base for the second time today. He takes quite the jog around the first base, but he will stay there for the first base hit of this inning. So Riley King gets hit for a single on his first at-bat in today's game. So number 19, Mitch Lumley, is at the plate now as they check Alex Thrower on first. As we've said many times, Mr. Speed Demon. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does steal a base here. Does look like Riley King is aware of his speedy legs. And there he goes, as that one's fouled to the back of the boards. So Alex Thrower will take the light jog back to first. So it really is a write-off for Alex Thrower. If he gets on first base, he will try to go for second and third. I believe the coach is coming out here to talk to the pitcher about Mr. Speedy Legs. As we saw yesterday for Ilderton, overall they are a quite high swing energy team. Thriving on the dropping body language of other teams, as it looked like yesterday. Although they haven't been too consistent either. As we saw yesterday, they can deliver a win when they lock in. So King looking on now as Thrower gets to second base. They will try and catch him, but they cannot. Little bit of matrix moves as the pitch just misses the head of Riley King. So Alex Thrower, definitely a hype man here for the Ilderton Red Army. Keeping the team alive and awake here at 8:25 a.m. in Victoria, BC. So he is on second base now, and I would not be surprised if he heads for third very shortly. So he will not there, and the count moves to 2-1 for Mitch Lumley here. So Lumley definitely being a player to watch for the Red Army today. He had a tough start in the field in yesterday's matchup versus BC, but he bounced back to deliver a solid performance. And he's definitely leading the team in consistency, batting an average of .364 coming into today's matchup, as King pitches his third ball of the at-bat. That one smacked hard down the left field line, but called foul. So Riley King looking on as his wonderful mullet flips out the back of his hat. They're a strikeout. The first strikeout of the day for Riley King as Mitch Lumley takes the dreaded walk to the dugout. So number 5, Nolan Anderson at the plate now. One down in the bottom of the top of the second inning. Excuse me. So Nolan Anderson, as I said before, the other player to watch for the Red Army. So Alex Thrower heads for third base, and he will get there for his 6th stolen base of the, or check that, 7th stolen base of the last 2 games. Not a bad record here for Thrower. So I've given Thrower a few nicknames, one of them being Mr. Steal Your Bases, and that nickname ringing true today, as Anderson watches the 1-1 count ball come through. That one fouled hard into the backboards to move the count to 1-2. The Red Army cheering on the speed of the ball boy here. The 7-year-old, quite fast with his legs as well. Taking a note or two from Alex Thrower. That one swung and hit hard to the right fielder. Alex Thrower is tagged up at third, and they will not get the throw in time. So Mr. Steal Your Bases has crossed the plate for the 4th run of the Red Army's performance today. And not much the right fielder for the Capitals can do about that. It's not quite the big leagues, but it is the Men's National Baseball Championship here in Victoria, BC. That one hit hard and taken comfortably by the pitcher, as it will mean the third out of the inning for Riley King here. Only leaking one run in the bottom of the, or top of the second inning as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Total score for now is 4-0 for the Red Army as they are heading to the field on Go Live broadcasts. The St. John's Capitals at the plate now, facing off still Dustin Gooden, number 10, at the mound here for the Ilderton Red Army, the second team out of Ontario. So the first team out of Ontario, the Tecumseh Thunder, playing over at Lambrick Park, as that one's fouled down the right line. They're playing at Lambrick Park at the moment in the other 8 a.m. game. They're facing off against Manitoba. Just to give a little update, they are ahead 1-0 at the top of the third. So we will try and continue to check in on that game as our 8 a.m. banger goes on here. So Andrew Paul, number 41, the right fielder, up to bat now. So we haven't talked a whole lot as for the players to watch for Newfoundland and Labrador. So they're quite a well-rounded side. The team sheet presenting itself with a few batters above 400. As Andrew Paul hits that one to the left field there, and it's taken with ease. So Newfoundland and Labrador with a few batters above 400 in Trevor Clark and the batter that you just saw get out, Andrew Paul. And finally, Dave Penny. Those are three of their batters that are above 400. So on the field, keep an eye out for their numbers. That'd be number 3, number 19, and number 21 for the Newfies. So the catcher, John Cribb, at the plate now. As he watches the first strike come through. So that one swung through hard, and Dustin got in, getting the better of John Cribb there. Just catching the top right of the strike zone and a missed swing. That one a little high, just above the strike zone for ball 1. 1-2 the count. So that one quite far outside, and it's fumbled by the catcher to move the count to 2-2. First wild pitch of the day for Dustin Godin. Godin will be smacked down the center field line as the catcher, John Cribb, reaches first base for a base hit. So Godin putting it looked like it was to be a lot of heat behind that one, but only reaching 74 miles per hour. So up to bat for the first time today, number 51, Aaron Flood. He's the left fielder for the Capitals. And he's got a man on first who's taking quite the lead off as the first pitch is called strike. So Aaron Flood standing at around 5'8". Out of Corner Brook, Newfoundland, as that one's hit to Mitch Lumley, the third baseman, and it's taken with ease at second base, and it will not be a double play. However, it was quite the effort there from the Red Army. They will get one out. So a little bit of improvement from the Red Army in their early innings here. Mitch Lumley with the beautiful take at third base, and the second baseman for the Red Army, Jordan Kamara, throwing over to first. Not quite in time, but quite the effort. So first pitch called ball there. So number 27, Redmond Hunt, the third baseman for the Capitals, at the plate now. And he's got Aaron Flood at first base. That one swung through hard and fouled into the back net as the ball boys do the chase. So he will steal for second as the catcher fumbles it around. Flood showing off the speed a little bit there. So 2-1 the count as Redmond Hunt is at the plate with a man on second. So Godin looking now, and that one is fouled right by Mr. Hunt. So Gooden looks on with a 2-2 count with a chance to finish off the inning. That one swung through and fouled left. Count remains 2-2. So lovely turnaround there from Dustin Godin, checking the runner at second. Nolan Anderson swift with his charge to second base. Good communication there from the Red Army. That one swung through and fouled once again. So Dustin Godin taking his time here at the mound. that's ball 3. So exciting baseball here at the bottom of the second inning. 2 down and a full count at the plate. That one a little far inside, so it's called ball 4. As Redmond Hunt struts to first base to make a man on first and second. So number 7, Daniel Rice here, the center fielder for St. John's Capitals, in good position with 2 out, and potentially a man in scoring position as well. That one washed a little high as it's thrown for ball 1. So that one down and outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. So watched one more time. However, that one is called strike, catching the top of the strike zone. So Dustin Godin here, ranging between the mid to high 70s for the majority of his pitches. That one a little inside of the strike zone and a little high as well for ball 3. That one watched again to move to another full count. So back-to-back full counts here for Dustin Godin. Daniel Rice looking to keep his team in this inning. That one swung and hit high and off the bounce. So a little bit of miscommunication there, and the second baseman is appealing for an interference from the runner there. However, he will not get any satisfaction from the umpire. So a quick chat between the coach and the umpire here. At the time being, there's a man on first, second, and third, and the bases are loaded. So a quick chat here between the coach and the umpire, and I think they're in mutual agreement that they should be watching for that. I don't think it was on purpose. However, you can never tell from the commentary box up here. So I believe that's Andrew Downs there, that umpire that was having a quick chat with the Red Army's second baseman, Jordan Kamara. So back to the top of the order we go for St. John's Capitals. Trevor Clark here, watching the first pitch be called ball. So I know it's early in the game, but the St. John's Capitals have a chance to do some serious damage here. Bases are loaded, but with if this chance is not taken, they could be behind for quite a while in this game as the count moves to 1-1. So tempted to swing there, number 3, Trevor Clark, but decides not to, and it's still called strike, catching the top left of the strike zone. 1-2 the count. So a little bit of breathing room here for Dustin Godin as he looks to get the third out of the inning. He will get half contact there as the ball is collected by Nolan Anderson, and it's an overthrow. So a guaranteed 2 runs there as number 51 and number 27 for the St. John's Capitals, Aaron Flood and Redmond Hunt, will cross home plate to give the St. John's Capitals 2 runs. And although he didn't get great contact, Nolan Anderson picked it up well, but couldn't get the throw in time to first base there. So I believe that was 2 runs scored for the St. John's Capitals as the score moves to 4-2. Number 1 at the plate, Parker Gulliver. That one looked on, and he holds back the swing for good reason as ball 1 is called. That one swung through hard and fumbled, so the man at third base will slide into home plate, and that means another run scored for the St. John's Capitals. So Daniel Rice will score to make it 3 runs for the St. John's Capitals. So the scoreboard is showing 4-2, but I believe it is 4-3. So just keep an eye on that. So still Parker Gulliver at the plate. The count moves to 2-1 as that pitch is just a little outside the strike zone. That one hit hard to Nolan Anderson as he collects it, and we'll see if his throw is on target this time, and it is. So the Ilderton Red Army will leak 3 runs there. So the St. John's Capitals definitely pleased with themselves here early on. So we head into the top of the 3rd inning. The score 4-3 for the Ilderton Red Army. And so the St. John's Capitals will take the field here shortly on Go Live Broadcasts. So number 36, Andrew Firth at the plate for the Ilderton Red Army as we stand in the top of the 3rd inning here in Victoria, BC. First pitch is called strike. So Andrew Firth, the first of the 2 twin towers for Ilderton Red Army. That one just a little inside and called for ball 1. Oh, that one just missing the shins of Andrew Firth. He does get out of the way though, so 2-1 the count. Definitely not fun taking a baseball to the shin. So looking on as that one catches the top left of the strike zone. 2-2 the count there as the umpire takes a look at his hands, making sure he's holding up the right numbers. And yes, sir, your math is correct. That one hit hard between the gap between second base and first, and a little bit of a fumble there in right field. But that will mean a base hit for Andrew Firth, the designated hitter. So Rob Wakefield in now, number 27. He was the designated hitter yesterday for the Red Army. but he will move to first base for today. Those two positions often being interchangeable. So Rob Wakefield in a position with men on first. That one catching the bottom right of the strike zone for strike one. So moving to second here as the ball's fumbled at home plate. Andrew Firth, the big man, will make it to second on a stolen base. So Rob Wakefield looking on now with a 1-1 count and a man on second. Looking as though he was tempted to swing at that one. However, he will hold himself back for the second ball of the at-bat. So on deck is number 42, Hayden Woodley, the right fielder for the Red Army. That one's fouled right and hard into the bleachers. So Riley King looking to keep the St. John's Capitals in the game here early. That one swung and hit hard to the second baseman and collected with ease as the first out of the inning is given. And Rob Wakefield is called out at first, but he will advance Andrew Firth to third base, which puts Hayden Woodley at the plate with a runner on third. So not a bad turnout today at Royal Athletic Park here for an 8 a.m. game. The majority of the fans are sitting pretty here with behind the plate. And that one looked on as it just misses the top right of the strike zone for ball one.
Come on, Jackie, let's go.
So that one hit high as the Andrew Firth tags up at third base, and he will make it home. So another run scored here for the Ilderton Red Army. So number 32 here at the plate, that's the catcher, Taylor Patterson. That one swung through hard and missed. Taylor Patterson with a big swing there. However, not getting contact on the ball whatsoever. I could feel the air from here, but it's worth a swing. 2 down and no one on base for now. That one swung through hard again and fouled into the packed stands. Official attendance at around 10 now. However, I can, although the official attendance is around 10, I can definitely see at least 20-something people. So we're doing all right this morning. But the fans have been pretty involved for those that are sitting here, as Riley King pitches for ball 1, 1-2 the count. That one just a little high as well to move the count to 2-2. Breaking ball at around 71 miles per hour, clocking in on the Wallace speed clock. Oh, that one swung through and hit the umpire in the chest. However, he takes it well against the pad. So it's tipped behind to keep the count at 2-2. So Riley King with the chance now to finish the inning. And he will be smacked to center field. But so after an error earlier on in the game, the St. John's Capitals center fielder, Daniel Rice, will take that with ease as Riley King holds the Ilderton Red Army to only 1 run in that inning. So that moves the score to 5-3 for the Red Army as the St. John's Capitals are heading out to bat in the bottom of the 3rd inning on Go Live Broadcasts.
Okay. Is it raining, is it? Or, fine. Yeah. Yeah, I have to like keep tuning the screen so I can't see.
So sliding into the bottom of the 3rd inning we go, and a light mist dropping down here on the park here in Wilson's Group Stadium. So the St. John's Capitals at the plate now, number 22, Brent Power. He's the second baseman. So the weather is looking a little bit iffy as of now, but play will go on. So ball 1 there. Pitch still at the mound. Dustin Godden. So 1-1 the count. So Brent Power getting a little piece of that one and taken by the catcher for the Red Army, Taylor Patterson. So after the pitching change, Riley King sitting at 2 runs given, and Dustin Godden here given 3 thus far. So they're somewhat equal in terms of performance today. Although I would say Riley King with the run only given 2 runs, and I think his hair is a little nicer, so we'll give him the trophy for now. That pitch catches just outside the strike zone for a full count at the first at bat of this inning. That one smacked hard and high near the Strathcona rooftop patio, and it's dropped by the shortstop. Nolan Anderson traveled quite a ways to get to that, and he would miss it, but solid effort and quick legs from Anderson there. That pitch called foul. So Dustin Gooden looking on now with a full count and no outs thus far. That pitch dipping just a little low of the strike zone, and number 22, Brent Power, will be walked for, I believe, the 2nd time of the day. So Troy Croft, the first baseman, in now. Croft being one of the players that I noted to keep an eye out for today. And he's got a cushion here with no out and a man on first. So he will watch that one go just above the top of the strike zone for ball one. So that one will be watched just above again for ball two. Quick chat here between Taylor Patterson, the catcher, and Dustin Godin. I think they're just looking for maybe a different strategy to get this this St. John's Capitals side out as fast as possible. So Troy Croft watches one more go by. However, this one will be called strike. 2-1 the count. That one will be just outside the right side of the strike zone, a little low as well, to move the count to 3-1. So a little bit of squawking from the St. John's Capitals dugout there, taunting of the pitcher in an awkward position here. That one smacked hard down the right field line, and it is fair. So he will move over to second base, and he will advance. Number 22, Brent Power, to third base. So that pitch wonderfully crafted, just passing the inside of the first base bag. So my bad there. Troy Croft was given the stop sign at first base, so that means there's a man on first and a man on third. So first chance for us there as the hat comes off for the pitcher to see the hair. And my observations are confirmed that Riley King does have the better hair. So quick chat here with from the head coach and Dustin Godin. So good competition thus far in the game here between the Capitals and the Red Army. So Godin with the first pitch after the chat with the coach, and that one is called strike. It's pitched at around 76 miles per hour. So Godin hasn't been throwing too much heat today. However, he's been doing all right. 4 hits, I believe, from the St. John's Capitals, and that one's hit to the shortstop and collected at second base and thrown to first, but however he will be called safe. So 1 run brought home there. So that is Brent Power crossing the plate, and Troy Croft will be called out at second base, and the double play attempt is not successful. So number 41, Andrew Paul, I believe, standing on first base. And the catcher, John Cribb, up to bat now. Watch as that one catches the top right of the strike zone for strike 1. So number 41 being able to steal second base and even take a little bit of a strut just past as the ball goes in the dirt there. So Taylor Patterson unable to hold on to that one. That one swung and hit hard. Just past the first base again, the favorite spot of the day as the runner is called around third. And another run will score for the St. John's Capitals. Andrew Paul crossing home plate as John Cribb gets to first. Good placement of shots thus far in the inning. So the ball game is tied up here at the bottom of the third. And the St. John's Capitals making a name for themselves here. So Aaron Flood, the left fielder here, number 51, is at the plate with a man on first. He will get some sketchy contact on that one as it hits the sideboards and called foul. So in good position now with one out. That one smacked to second base, and they'll be looking for a double play, no doubt. They will get the man, and oh, they will not get the man at second. And Nolan Anderson not pleased with getting a cleat to the back of the shin there. Everyone will be safe in the end, but a head shake from number 5, Nolan Anderson, and maybe some complaining to the umpire as well. And it was quite the eccentric fall there. I believe his leg got caught up with the runner there, number 16, John Cribb. So John Cribb and Aaron Flood on second and first. Number 27, Redmond Hunt at the plate now. And the Capitals looking as good as they have all game at the moment. That one watched just a little low for ball one. Dustin Godden will be hit to second base, and they'll be looking only for one out here. The last double play attempt not so successful, so they're just looking for one out there. And smart play there by the second baseman, Jordan Kamara. They move to 2 out now, so all they need is one tag up at base. Either at home or first base. I'd assume they'd look for the easier one depending on where the ball is hit. So Daniel Wright's at the plate now. That one watched, and it misses the downward right side of the strike zone for ball one. That one hit right to Mitch Lumley, and he will take it with ease at the third base. So 2 runs scored for the St. John's Capitals in that inning. And the ball game is tied up as we head to the top of the 4th here at Royal Athletic Park in Victoria, BC. Misty, Victoria, BC. And we will be right back on Go Live Broadcasts.
Fuck. Burner, full swing. Holy my. Riley, come on, Kinger.
Into the 4th inning we go here as the St. John's Capitals are taking the field. And just a quick update from Lambert Park. In the other 8 a.m. banger of a game, the Tecumseh Thunder are leading Manitoba 5-0. Matt Sykes being the man of the hour with 2 runs batted in on 1 hit. So Tecumseh being one of the top teams in the tournament in terms of record. They're 3-0, so this will move them to a flawless record if they get this win. They did have one tight game that went into extra innings yesterday with the Victoria side. That one's just a little inside, missing the knee of number 8 from the Red Army, Jordan Kamara. 2-0 the count. That one looked on as it's high and called ball to move the count to 3-0. That one quite high, so the first 4 pitches of this inning are all balls as Jordan Kamara heads to first base on a walk. So next up, we will go to the top of the order with number 18, Alex Thrower, the catcher, and the St. John's Capitals coach meeting up now at the mound. Riley King is already the, I guess you could say, the relief pitcher for the St. John's Capitals, so they're looking to count on him as no action in the bullpen.
Hey, let's go, Flo. Do some damage, baby. Hey, Flo.
And if your pitchers are your most consistent players, then you'll be doing quite all right in this tournament, as it's a 25-man roster per team. So number 8, Jordan Kamara, heads to second base, and he'll be called safe. Kamara sliding on his stomach, and he will have to do the laundry after this game. So Alex Thrower on up to bat now, and if he gets on base, he can be sure he will steal 1 or 2 bases. So he's just looking for a single here. That one hit for the single, I believe, and Jordan Kamara crossing third base, and they won't even try. So Jordan Kamara crosses home plate for the 6th run scored of the day for the Ilderton Red Army. And Alex Thrower is totally okay staying at first base because you know he will steal your bases. So we'll be looking for that now, and that shot hit wonderfully to the left of the second baseman.
Come on, Mitch, give him a rip, baby. Let's go.
So Mitch Lumley, the man at the plate now. And they will maybe check him at first, and Riley King realizes that Alex Thrower is not even off the bag yet, but he will be shortly. And they're going to check him at first, and it's an overthrow. And quite the overthrow, so he might even head to third. And he will, so he'll be totally okay at third base. And so a little bit of an unnecessary check there from Riley King. He didn't need to do it, but he tried it anyway, and didn't quite get it right. So the Ilderton Red Army doing their team signal. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like antlers. Could be very off there as they're the Red Army, but it's definitely a fire signal. So Mitch Lumley will swing hard and not get contact on that one. He has Alex Thrower at third base, and no outs here in the top of the 4th. Oh, swung through hard and missed once again. 0-2 the count. That one pitched and it swung through hard once again, and so Mitch Lumley will strike out at this at bat. So number 5, Nolan Anderson, coming up to the plate now.
Hey, nobody better here.
Anderson being one of the 2 players to watch for this game. And he watches that one go quite high above the strike zone for ball 1.
Come on, baby.
Riley King is looking to get some points back from the error made early in this inning. So Nolan Anderson looking to smoke one, and he does, but it's quite high to center field, and he'll take it. And Alex Thrower heads to home plate, nice and easy, and it is an out, but it is also a ribby. One more run batted in for Alex Thrower there. Or check that by Nolan Anderson, and the runner is Alex Thrower. So Alex Thrower will cross home plate for the 7th run of the day for the Ilderton Red Army. So just past the halfway point of the game at last inning, and it's looking like a big scoreboard day for both teams. 7-5 so far. So a little bit of action in the bullpen right now for the St. John's Capitals, but I'd assume that they are wanting to keep Riley King in the game for a little bit longer. So a very slow walk from the coach and the umpire here. Riley King will stay, I believe, but it's going to be a serious chat. So the home plate umpire having to join the conversation here. So yeah, a signal actually made to the bullpen, and Riley King will be taken out of today's game. He gave up 4 runs in 3 innings pitched, and it will be a pitching change. We'll be right back with a little break here for the St. John's Capitals, and as I said, we'll be right back on Go Live Broadcasts. So Matt Murphy into the game here for the St. John's Capitals, and he's a hometown boy, that's for sure, out of St. John's as well. And standing at around 6 foot, he is ticked there left, and it's called foul for his first pitch of the day. And Matt Murphy has pitched before in this tournament with 1 game played. He got hit 3 times, but he did get the shutout, I believe. Oh no, check that. He did not get the shutout, but he tried. So Matt Murphy at the mound now, number 20, and at the plate for the Red Army, number 37, Ryan Hartig. And the second piece of the Twin Towers on deck, Andrew Firth. So 1-1 the count and 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning.
He'll clear up a little bit. He'll blow off. It's never the same in this city.
So he will watch that one go a little down and outside for ball 2. That one going quite far inside, just missing the legs of Ryan Hartig. So Matt Murph, the mailman, looking to pitch 2 more strikes here and hopefully get Ryan Hartig out. That one's fouled behind. And the mailman definitely keeping up the trend of nice hair from the pitching attack of the St. John's Capitals. That went around 77 miles per hour.
Pretty darn good, my man. Big Dodger guy there, huh?
So full count now for Matt Murph. And he will strike out Ryan Hartig. And a clean take to end the inning here. 3 outs and 2 runs given. And Matt Murph gets the save of the inning. Mr. Mailman, as the Ilderton Red Army head out, head 2 runs, and we're sliding now down to the bottom of the 4th inning. Things are 7-5 here in Victoria, BC, at Royal Athletic Park.
Here we go. Stay up here. Stay up here. Maddie, need water? Yeah, please.
A pitching change here for the Ilderton Red Army. Number 35, Jeff Davis in for Dave Godin. Oh, sorry, I believe that was Dave Godin before. Sorry, Dustin Godin. So Jeff Davis standing at 6'3" out of Mississauga, Ontario. The right-handed pitcher here. And that one's off-speed pitch for at 68 miles per hour to make the count 1-1. That one hit by number 3, Trevor Clark, the shortstop, and Mitch Lumley will go behind his back. Quite the smooth take from Mitch Lumley. He caught it with his glove and went behind his back, but the fanciness of that take does not pay off, as he's called safe at first. So Trevor Clark starting off the inning for the St. John's Capitals as number 1 Parker Gulliver, the designated hitter, comes up to bat. So a check at first. And Trevor Clark is called safe. So one more check, why not? And he's still called safe. Getting a hand on the bag in time. So the rain is still misting down here in Victoria, BC. And time is called as the shortstop Trevor Clark is at first base, and he needs to clean up his mess that he made with his dive. So Parker Gulliver will watch one go way high and outside for ball 1. That one catching the bottom right of the strike zone at around 76 miles per hour to move the count to 1-1. So Jeff Big Baby Davis checking the runner at first one more time as he is called safe. So Parker Gulliver looking to smack one, and he does, but it's called foul ball, and the runner at first, Trevor Clark, is forced to return after his failed steal attempt. So one thing to keep in mind as well, Newfoundland does have another game to be played later on today, which means they're one game behind the Red Army. That being the reason why there's a difference in their records thus far. And this will be the Red Army's last game of the tournament, as that one's called strikeout. So Big Baby Davis making a mark on his second batter of the day, and his first victim in Parker Gulliver there. So 22, Brent Power, the lefty, up to bat now. And as I was saying before, this will be the last game of the Red Army's pool play. And you can bet we'll be looking for both teams to snag their second win in this early morning matchup, as Big Baby Davis checks out the runner at first one more time. So Brent Power was tempted, but decides not to swing, and that one catches the top right of the strike zone to move the count to 0-1. That one quite far outside for ball 1. So on deck for the St. John's Capitals is number 25, Troy Croft. So he's trying to steal second there once again, but the ball is fouled. And into the parking lot it goes. Now the clouds aren't too dark, so I'm not expecting any sort of torrential downpour, but I assume that for now the mist will stay trickling down. So the leadoff at first, and Brent Power at the plate now, facing off against Jeff Big Baby Davis. So one more steal attempt to second, and then he will be successful this time. and a slide for good measure because his jersey was already dirty. So it is a strikeout though, second one of the day for Big Baby Davis. So that's 2 down in this inning. And number 25, Troy Croft, coming in with a man on second. So Jeff Big Baby Davis looking to have a chat with Taylor Patterson, the catcher here. So might as well check the runner at second, and it's called safe once again. So that one just missing down and out and inside for ball 1. Trevor Clark not holding back on his leadoffs here. So that one will miss downside again, and that will be ball 2. 2-0 the count. So Troy Croft watches the third ball pitched here by Jeff Big Baby Davis. So Newfoundland with a man potentially in scoring position on second in Trevor Clark. 2 down now, looking to score some runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and that one called strike, so 3-1 the count now, and 2 down.
Here we go.
Let's go, Jeff. Jeffy, I'm down 3-5.
So Jeff Davis looking on now to get his second strike this at bat, and he gets it. So moving now to a full count here, 2 down, and Jeff Davis is looking to finish the inning. Looking on now. That one hit hard to the first baseman, and even though it's a little bit of an uneven bounce, they gather it, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. So Jeff Big Baby Davis also holding the St. John's Capitals scoreless here in the bottom of the 4th inning as we move now to the top of the 5th. In misty Victoria, the sweaters are surely out thus far. And we will move here shortly to the top of the 5th inning, as I said, on Go Live broadcasts in Victoria, BC. Matt Murph, the mailman, the man at the mound. That's a lot of M's. So he's still at the mound now, and number 36, Andrew Firth, the designated hitter today for the Ilderton Red Army. And checking in one more time on the Ontario 1 team over at Lambrick Park. Tecumseh Thunder with a commanding 7-0 lead over Manitoba. Things are not looking good for the Tobers. The bottom of the 6th inning now, and so that one gets away from the catcher for the St. John's Capitals as the ball boys race to get the ball. And it will be the ball boy for the St. John's Capitals that gets the W. 1-0 the count now. So another one in the dirt. And Matt Murph, the mailman, definitely making the job hard for John Cribb here, the catcher. But 2-0 the count. That one hit hard, and I believe it's actually into the gap, and it will bounce safely in left field territory. Maybe could have been a Kevin Pillar level dive there, but so it's 9:30 a.m. and the center fielder not looking too hot right now. So Rob Wakefield up to the plate now, and Andrew Firth did make it to first base only there. So they'll check the runner at first. Andrew Firth at first, and he did steal a base last inning, or 2 innings ago, I believe. Matt Murph, the mailman, pitches one a little too high, and that will be ball 1. He hits that one hard at the third baseman, and they're looking for a double play here. They'll get the second out, the out at the second base, excuse me, and they'll also get the one at first. So why not the double play here for the St. John's Capitals? Matt Murph, the mailman, looking very pleased. My apologies on the fumble there. I'm just getting a little too excited. So solid double play there. Second one of the day for the St. John's Capitals. So Hayden Woodley at the plate now. 2 down. That pitch just capturing the bottom left side of the strike zone for strike 1. And we haven't been seeing too much pitching out, or that is over 80 miles per hour, excuse me. And that one ranging at around 68 miles per hour. So a little bit of an off-speed pitch there from Matt Murph. So 1-1 the count now. They just had to quickly switch out balls. So Hayden Woodley watching that one go outside for ball 2. So that one getting a little low, and that will be ball 3. So Matt Murph, the mailman, definitely wants to find a strike here or get the out. That one's fouled into the back thigh of his, and that through that swing, and he's feeling the pain a little bit here. Hayden Woodley, believe it hit the back of his left leg. So time given at the plate here. He's rubbing the back of his left shin, so his left calf, excuse that. He will be all right to return here to the plate, and what better way to return the plate than a full count with 2 down here. That one is quite far inside, and he will be walked to first. So Hayden Woodley struts over as number 32, the catcher. Taylor Patterson up to the plate now. So a decent lead off at first base here as Hayden Woodley jets for second, and they will try to get him, but he slides in safely, and although he fumbled off the bag a little bit, he did get a chance to get his hand back on the bag. So he will get the steal for that one now. So Taylor Patterson still at the plate. That one smacked in the center field, and it will be in the gap with quite some power on it, and so he'll round Taylor Patterson to second base, and he will bring Hayden Woodley home. So a run score, check that, for the Ilderton Red Army. And Hayden Woodley happy to cross home plate there on the center field bomb by the catcher Taylor Patterson. So Matt Murph, the mailman, not too pleased with that one. However, he will carry on here as Jordan Kamara, the second baseman, comes up to bat. So that one quite far inside, and Jordan Kamara watches the first ball of the at-bat go through. So Matt Murph, the mailman, sitting around 76 miles per hour. That one quite far outside for the second ball. 2-0 the count. That one quite far outside again, and that will be the third ball in a row for Matt Murph. That one quite high, and it will be ball four as Jordan Kamara struts to first base. And back to the top of the order we go. So number 18, Alex Thrower, coming up to the plate now. And it's been a consistent day for this man. He's been able to get on base on all of his hits, and he's stolen quite a few bases as well. So I definitely think he's gotten the better of the St. John's Capitals pitching attack thus far. But I believe he's only faced Matt Murph, the mailman, once. So we'll see what this man can deliver. That one catching the top of the strike zone for an 0-1 count. So the Capitals have leaked one run this inning, so they're looking to seal the cap now on this inning. So Matt Murph will pitch a 67 miles per hour breaking ball there, and it will move the count to 1-1. Mitch Lumley on deck now for the Red Army. That one just a little high as it moves the count to 2-1.
Hey, you're not doing too much, bro. Gotta be you, baby. Gotta be you. There behind you. You're
good, Jordy.
So Alex Thrower swings hard on that one, and it's collected. And he will be called safe. So the St. John's Capital third baseman, number 27, Redmond Hunt tried to tag off the runner at third, but wasn't able to get him, and it was a little bit of a fumble there, and then he tried to snipe Alex Thrower at first, but you know Mr. Speed Demon, he got there in time, so that means the bases are loaded here, and Mitch Lemley is at the plate. So it could either be a big scoring play here, or Matt Murph, the mailman, will deliver something nice, and he his first pitch is called strike. Mitch Lemley pulling the trigger, but unable to make contact there. 0-1 the count, 2 down. So Mitch Lemley watching that one go down and outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count.
See you, Billy. You got 2 here.
Buddy.
You got 2, Matty.
So Mitch Lemley swinging hard, and it will. The mailman will still collect it, even though there was a fumble, and he gets the out. Excuse me, of Mitch Lemley at first base. So even though the mailman fumbled that one, he still picked it up bare hand and got the ball to first base. So that means only 1 run scored by the Ilderton Red Army in that outing. As we move to the bottom of the 5th inning, Ilderton Red Army 8, St. John's Capitals 5 on Go Live Broadcasts.
Let's go.
Can't wait around. Let's do it every inning. Wonderful display of athletics there, much.
Number 41, Andrew Paul up to bat here for the St. John's Capitals. Just 3 runs behind now, so they're going to be looking to put some runs on the board here. So Jeff Big Baby Davis at the mound still. That one in the dirt for ball 1. So there's a little more action in the bullpen here for the St. John's Capitals. However, they are batting now. So Jeff Big Baby Davis looking on now as the count is 1-0. That pitch catching the top right side of the strike zone. 1-1 is the count.
Come on, boys. On forward.
So Andrew Paul, big swing through there, tipped to the catcher to make the count 1-2. So John Cribb on deck for the St. John's Capitals now, the catcher. So Jeff Davis just missing the outside of the strike zone there, and on an 81-mile-per-hour fastball. delivered now. And number 41, Andrew Paul, gets good contact, and he will be sniped out at first for the first out of the inning. Lovely piece of infield play there from Nolan Anderson, the shortstop. He will get Andrew Paul, as I said, at first base, and so John Cribb up to bat now. That one got some nice movement on it. The breaking ball from Jeff Davis at around 69 miles per hour. Quite a lot of movement on that pitch. That one swung through hard, and it will be foul ball, just missing the right side of the first base.
Come on, Kirby! Come on, John!
So Jeff Big Baby Davis using the changes of speed and pitching quite well here today. His range of speeds have been between 64 miles per hour and 82. So check swing there, but it's still called strike. And that is a strikeout for Jeff Big Baby Davis. And John Cribb a little unpleased there with himself, and I believe a little bit with the umpire there. So it was a solid call catching the top left of the strike zone. So not much you can do there. Number 51, Aaron Flood, up to bat now. A little bit of a break given here to the catcher and the batter. I think something was in the catcher's eye.
Come on, Floody! Get us going with 2, babe. Here you go.
Let's go 5-1.
That ball sinking to the bottom of the strike zone to make the count 0-1. That one swung through hard and fouled to the third base coach for the Capitals. So Aaron Flood out of Corner Brook, Newfoundland, watches that one go high and outside for ball 1 to move the count to 1-2. That one a little low, called ball, 2-2 the count. Good eye from Aaron Flood. So Big Baby Davis looking on now, and that moves it to a full count. So no room to play around for either the batter or the pitcher at this moment. And we find ourselves back at the 2 down full count position. Big Baby Davis looking on now. That one just missing the head of Aaron Flood, and he will advance. Aaron Flood standing at around 5'8". Quite the nice duck there. So Redmond Hunt up to bat now, the third baseman for the Capitals, number 27. He will foul that one near Chris J. Cox in the Go Live broadcast truck. Luckily just missing the truck. So So Jeff Davis looking on with 1 strike now, and just a little below the strike zone for ball 1. So Redmond Hunt fouling that one as Aaron Flood boosts for second base. However, he is called back on the foul ball. So 1-2 the count now, 2 down with a runner on first. The Capitals in okay position. So he swings through and is struck out there. The steal attempt is erased as Jeff Big Baby Davis holding on for the Ilderton Red Army, and the score is 8-5 for the Red Army as they are topping the St. John's Capitals at the moment. And we will be right back on Go Live broadcasts in Victoria, BC on this misty day. So we do have a few lineup changes here for the St. John's Capitals. Pitching change, so Matt Murph, the mailman, is out, and Ben Murph is in. So he is number 9 for the Capitals. That one's skied high, and we also have a new catcher today. So the man who was at third base, Redmond Hunt, is now moved to catcher. So that means that John Cribb, the former catcher, is out of the game, and number 47, Dylan McKenzie, has now moved to third base. So just be aware of that. And so Ben Murph pitches the second pitch of the day for a ball, moving the count to 1-1.
There you go, come on, 60. Go, Benny.
Ben Murph gets smacked down the left field line by number 5, Nolan Anderson. And Nolan will start things off with a base hit here, and nice little high five there with the first base coach. Good way to get off the mark here for the Ilderton Red Army. So Ryan Hartig, the left fielder, up to bat now, and hands are definitely sweaty for Ben Murph as his first batter up to bat will make his way to first.
Let's go.
So looking for a little bit of a bunt attempt there from Ryan Hartig, but he does pull back, and it will be called ball. So one more bunt attempt as it gets away from Redmond Hunt, and Nolan Anderson will make his way to second with a few bit of room to spare there.
Hey, we gotta have you. Move him over. Move him over. Hey, make him pick
So
up
Nolan
the
Anderson
back.
on second now. 2 balls
I'll do
pitched
that.
thus far by Ben Murph.
Top hand, Dylan, in the hard fun. Come on, Hardy. Know what you must do, Hardy. Good.
That one smacked just over the head of the shortstop and the third baseman. And Nolan Anderson is getting the break at third base, and so the Ilderton Red Army looking in good form at the moment as Ryan Hartig hits the single there and advances his teammate to third. So tough break for the 20-year-old pitcher Ben Murphy. So he is one of St. John's Capital's juniors. They have quite a few today, as he's looking for some advice from number 47, the sub Dylan McKenzie, who we have yet to see in action today. So quick team meeting here at the mound as Ben Murphy looks for some advice.
Come on, first, give it a hurt, baby.
So Ben Murphy, a little bit of a fumble there by the catcher, so that means that number 37, Ryan Hartig, will advance to second on the stolen base.
Hey, it's gotta be through. Don't run him off. Don't run
Redmond
him
Hunt
off.
having a little bit of a tough time getting that one out of the dirt. So Ilderton Red Army in scoring position now. That one smacked hard down the left field line, however it's called foul. So it's going to be a long trek for the St. John Capitals ball boy.
Hey, go firsty.
So Andrew Firth, the designated hitter for today, looking as Ben Murphy pitches. That one quite far outside, and Redmond Hunt sacrifices the body to get the stop. Count is 2-1. That one smacked hard down the left field line, and it is fair. So Nolan Anderson will score, and the number 37, Ryan Hartig, will also cross home plate. So that means 2 runs scored here for the Ilderton Red Army. Andrew Firth did put the brakes on at first. I'm sure he could have made it to second base. So but it does not matter because they got 2 runs scored and still 0 outs here at the top of the 6th. So the Ilderton Red Army are in good position now. So number 27, Rob Wakefield, the first baseman, at the plate now. First pitch called strike there. Emphatic call from home base umpire.
Come on, Wade. Go, man. All right, babe, here you go.
Let's go, Wiki.
Come on.
So Sean Sullivan calling time now for a sec. Just stretch the legs a little bit.
Snakes, come on, baby.
Get one on the ground, Ben Murphy. Here you go.
That one just a little outside and called for ball 1. So Rob Wakefield looking to advance the man from first to second, and that one is hit hard and high to the center fielder for the Capitals, and that will force Andrew Firth to tag up at first base. Easy take there for St. John's Capital center fielder Daniel Rice. And that means it's Hayden Woodley's time to the plate. One down and a man on first. That ball getting away from Redmond Hunt there, and Andrew Firth will strut his way over to second base on the error.
One. Gotta be through. Come on, Hayden.
Here you go.
So Hayden Woodley looking to do some damage now. However, that is a called ball. 2-0 the count. Ben Murphy, what a pitch there. So swung through hard by Hayden Woodley and unable to connect on that one. 2-1 the count.
Line drive, Woody. Come on, baby.
Go, Ben.
Go, Ben.
Bring him in.
That pitch catching the bottom left side of the strike zone. Lovely pitch there by Ben Murphy. And that moves the count to 2-2. So a little bit of time requested here from Ben Murphy at the mound, and Hayden Woodley practices his swing, hoping to connect here. So Ben Murphy, breaking ball, a little bit of perhaps a change up there at 62 miles per hour. Moves it to a full count. So Hayden Woodley gets sketchy contact. However, he will make his way to first and will be called out. So he does do some damage though, and advances Andrew Firth to third base.
Keep playing the game. Let's go.
So Hayden Woodley will be called out for the second out of the inning, and that means that I believe this is number 32, Taylor Patterson, the catcher, at the plate. And what a beard on this guy. So in the dirt a little bit there. And with that light mist coming down, you can definitely see the dirt sticking to the plate, and I'm assuming the ball as well. So tough conditions. That one gets away from the catcher Redmond Hunt there. And good call on Andrew Firth not advancing there, although I believe Taylor Patterson did give him the go call. Andrew Firth decided to disagree.
Go, Patty.
That one swung through hard, and not getting any contact on that. Big whiff there. Lovely pitch from Ben Murphy. That one swung through hard again, and it will make its way to third base, and an error there. So Andrew Firth will score at home plate, and Taylor Patterson making his way to first, and it will be confirmed as an error. So, and that is an error made by the sub, Dylan McKenzie. So, tough break there for McKenzie in his first impression here. So I guess an error in judgment. However, we will carry on, and that means Jordan Kamara is at the plate now, the second baseman for the Ilderton Red Army. Second team out of Ontario. And for the first team of Ontario, little update from Lambrick, as that one's called ball. The game has finished, and Tecumseh Thunder taking the win 7-1 over Manitoba. So 3 runs batted in by the number 1 batter, Matt Sykes, as that one's fouled hard down the left field line. So a commanding win there for the Thunder, which means they moved to 4-0 at the top of the tournament. So you'd be sure to be looking out for them in the playoff action coming tomorrow. And all spots will be confirmed by the end of today. That one swung through and fouled, and it's called a foul ball, just crossing the left field line. One and two the count now, 2 down, and Ilderton has a man on first with Jordan Kamara at the plate. So boost for second there, and he will comfortably get, actually not so comfortably, it was actually quite a tight call. Comfortably being my favorite word of the day. Taylor Patterson making his way to second, and a tight call there, but he will be called safe. Kamara not quite swinging through there, and he gives the stop signal to Taylor Patterson at second. So at the moment, a commanding 11-5 score for the Ilderton Red Army here. That one swung through and hit hard to the second baseman. A little bit of a fumble, but he recovers and then fumbles it one more time. So Jordan Kamara makes it to first on a slight error there. The ball was traveling fast for sure, but Ben Murphy does not look pleased with his fielding backup. So Taylor Patterson is at third, and Jordan Kamara sitting at first. And this could be trouble. Alex Thrower at the plate now, and he has done some serious damage thus far today. He's definitely one of the alphas on this Ilderton Red Army squad. Not afraid to steal the bags, and I love the effort from this guy. A bunt attempt, actually, or a half bunt attempt. He did pull away, but still called strike.
Come on, bro. Come on, little crap. Here you go.
So that one quite far outside, called for ball 1. And I'm assuming that Alex Thor will not try another bunt in this at-bat. There are 2 outs, and unless he places the bunt perfectly, it would be definitely a sketchy call. So he heads for second there, and there's no one at second, but they will get him at third. So Taylor Patterson, despite the efforts early on, he will get caught out at third on the half steal attempt, and great arm there from substitute catcher Redmond Hunt. So we're heading now to the bottom of the 6th inning. Ilderton Red Army sitting at 11 runs, and St. John Capitals sitting at 5. So looking to cover a 6-run deficit here across the next 1.5 innings. And if you're liking what you see so far from Newfoundland and Labrador, they do have 1 game remaining at Lambrick Park. So if you're in the area, be sure to check that out. That is later this afternoon at 2 p.m. versus British Columbia. Go Live Broadcasts will not be streaming that game, but if you go check out the Victoria Harbour Cats Facebook page and also the Men's Canadian National Championship Facebook page, there should be a Facebook free stream going on. It's a single cam event, so no commentary happening there, but you can stay up to date. And if you're not following the streams, then you can also check out GameChanger.com, where all scores are updated on the go. So Ilderton Red Army still keeping Jeff Big Baby Davis on the mound now. So up to bat first here for the St. John's Capitals. Number 7, Daniel Rice, the center fielder for the Capitals today.
He doesn't know how to score.
So Rice looking to bunt there, but pulling away for ball 1. That pitch coming in at around 77 miles per hour from Big Baby Davis. So pitch 2 is called strike, and it looks as though Daniel Rice had no interest in considering that pitch. Daniel Rice gets a piece of that one, but it is called foul down the infield right line. So Big Baby Davis pitches, and Daniel Rice fouls that one hard down the left field line, and it will roll to the fence.
On 7, be tough. On 7, 7 yards. Stay tough here. Stay tough. Let's go.
That pitch popped up to the third baseman. Mitch Lumley takes that with ease, and that means 1 down. So back to the top of the order we go for the St. John's Capitals, and that means that the shortstop, Trevor Clark, is up to bat. He's the right-hander out of St. John's, Newfoundland, standing at around 6 feet tall. That one just misses his front shoulder, and ball 1 is put up on the board. That one swung through hard and fouled down the left field line, just hitting the Strathcona rooftop patio area. That one a little far outside. Let's move the count to 2-1 here. That one hit hard between the gap of shortstop and third base, and that means that Trevor Clark makes his way to first base and gets himself a hit. So Parker Gulliver, the designated hitter for today, is up to bat. So first pitch called strike by home plate umpire Sean Sullivan, and Trevor Clark sitting at first base now. So they check the runner at first there, and that's Ben Murphy, or sorry, check that, Jeff Davis. And quite a fast throw there from Jeff Davis. So Parker Gulliver looking on now to hit the ball for foul into the road. So Newfoundland and Labrador with coming into today's game, they have 7 players tied with 1 RBI. So definitely a codependent group in this year's Newfoundland and Labrador squad. That pitch just missing the outside left of the strike zone, and that moves the count to 1-2. So just checking the runner at first one more time, and Trevor Clark slides in smoothly. That one hit between the gap, and I believe the second baseman will collect it, and he doesn't have time to get it to first. So that means number 1, Parker Gulliver, will advance Trevor Clark to second and get himself a position on first base. So number 22, Brent Power, up to bat now, in good position with a man on first and a man on second. Might as well check the runner at second, and he almost had him. However, it bounced out of his glove. So a few screams of anticipation there from the crowd. That one floating in, just missing the right side of the strike zone at around 66 miles per hour. Jeff Davis sitting at a 1-0 count. So Jeff Davis called for one more ball to move the count to 2-0. A little bit of a reset here now for Jeff Davis. That one smacked high and hard, but I believe it will be called foul. And Red Army left fielder Ryan Harting unable to make his way all the way over. So Brent Power not getting all of that And it floats over to left field for a foul ball. So a 2-1 the count now. So Jeff Davis pitching now, and that one is hit back to him. He has a chance to get a double play, but they only get one out at third. So the St. John's Capitals will sit with a man still on first and a man on second, although a change in company and a change in outage. So 2 outs here. Number 25, Troy Croft, the first baseman for the Newfies today. Watches that one float in at around 69 miles per hour for strike 1. So 2 down here at the bottom of the 6th inning. And Jeff Davis attempting to seal the inning with a man on second and a man on first. That one floats in for a ball, make the count 1-1. So a big fan of the slider, Jeff Davis is, and that one comes in at 69 miles per hour as well. Two and one the count now. That one hit hard, and the right fielder will drop it. He put his glove in an awkward position, and the break is put on for the third baseman runner, Brent Power. However, Parker Gulliver will make it home. So that means 1 run scored there for the St. John's Capitals, and the score moves to 11-6. And quite the drop in body language there from Hayden Woodley in right field. He, it looked as quite easy of a take, and he put his glove the opposite direction than it should have been. So he drops that one, and now using his glove to cover his face. He cannot be pleased with himself right now. But Andrew Paul looking to right his hit there to left field, and waved off and taken easily for the third out of the Ilderton Red Army's inning. And so we head to the 7th and final inning here. 11 runs for the Ilderton Red Army and 6 for the Newfoundland St. John's Capitals on Go Live broadcasts in Victoria, BC. And we'll be right back. So we're back on Go Live broadcasts here, and Alex Thrower is now at the plate for the second time in the last inning. So that one's called ball. So the first baseman, Troy Croft, will be subbed out as that one's hit to second base, and they'll be... Oh, tough call there at first base, and Mr. Speed Demon, number 18, Alex Thrower, is not pleased with the call there. So definitely tight, as you can see most likely on the replay there. And some oohs and ahs from the crowd as they're having a tough time with that call. However, the umpire's call is final. That one is fouled, and so on the replay you can see that that was potentially safe, but can't go back now. That one hit hard by Mitch Lumley between the gap in the left field. And so Mitch Lumley will get himself safely to first. And a tip of the helmet there to his teammate Alex Thrower, who is not pleased. So Nolan Anderson up to bat now. Sorry, what I was saying before about the change. When we resume in the bottom of the 7th inning, we will see that first baseman Troy Croft will be subbed out for Greg Berry, number 77. So I'm not sure if that will equal a change in the batting order yet or not. I believe it will not reflect in the batting order, but so Nolan Anderson smacks that one to the third baseman, and Hugh fumbles it. So they're still going to rock it over to first, and he'll be called safe. So a man on first and a man on second here for the Ilderton Red Army. And good backing up there by the St. John's Capitals catcher. Going to cover the overthrow, but the throw is made timely and efficiently. So Nolan Anderson watching that one pick the bottom of the left side of the strike zone for strike one. So a little bit of time here at the plate. Nolan Anderson watches that one into the dirt for ball one. 1-1 the count now. So we did chat a little bit during the home run derby, both Mike Edwards and I, and we chatted a little bit about facial hair in this tournament. So we've seen a few nice beards, but we have not seen the mustaches that we've been expecting. We'll see if those start to appear in the playoffs tomorrow. That one smacked into open territory in the right field. And so number 37 for the Ilderton Red Army, Ryan Hartig, will cross to second base, and Mitch Lumley will cross home. So 12 runs total now for the Ilderton Red Army. So quite the scoring outing for these folks. And so a man on second and a man on third. And so a big turnaround in the tournament for the Ilderton Red Army. They started their first 2 games, both scoring none. And yesterday scored 9 against the strong British Columbia side. And now they're scoring 12. So we'll see if they can add one more to the tally. I think they might do some on-the-go subs here for the Capitals. Maybe a glove change or two. like to check that statement that I made earlier on. The change was actually for the St. John's Capitals, and so Troy Croft, number 25, the first baseman, did go off already, and number 77, Greg Berry, is now standing near first base. So it looks as though there'll be a pitching change here for the St. John's Capitals. And I believe the former center fielder, Daniel Rice, will now step to the mound. And he is a part-timer. But we'll see what kind of change-up this does and see if it's effective for the St. John Capitals. It looks as though the St. John's Capitals have made the pitching change that I talked about a little earlier. So number 7, the center fielder, Daniel Rice. And you cannot say that the change from center field straight to pitching is going to be an easy one. So we'll see how he adjusts here. That one being lofted in at 61 miles per hour. So definitely a change of speed that Andrew Firth is going to have to adjust to here. That one's popped up into center field now with not a whole lot of speed behind it. However, 2 people will be brought home here for the Ilderton Red Army, moving them to 14 runs total. And it's turning now to a little bit of a slaughter, 14-6. So Andrew Firth treating this pitching like easy money at the moment. So we'll see if number 27, Rob Wickfield, can do the same. So Andrew Firth will get a pinch runner here on first base. I believe that's Nolan Anderson running now. That one actually getting a piece of the leg, I believe, of number 27, and so he will advance to first. Tough break for the pitching attack here of St. John's Capitals. They have been holding their own up to this point, and to an extent. So the score is now 14-6. So not sure that that is the case anymore. So Hayden Woodley up to bat now, facing the St. John's Capital substitute pitcher. And time taken at the plate briefly. So he's certainly not a fast pitcher. Thus far, he's been throwing around 63 miles per hour. So we'll see how Hayden Woodley's able to deal with that now. That one into the dirt for ball 1.
Come on, Hayden.
That one fouled into fan territory. And so Hayden Woodley sitting at a 1-1 count with one down. So he fires now, and that one just missing the top end of the strike zone. Coming in at around 60 miles per hour. Probably the slowest pitch we've seen today. 2-1 the count now, with a man on second and a man on first. Rice pitching now, that one quite high again. 3-1 the count. So that one quite high as well, and now the bases will be loaded. So a pitching change in desperation for the St. John's Capitals appears to be hindering their success today, and although they were not headed for success in the first place, it certainly did not put them in any better place than they were already in. So a tough break here, but looking to finish off with 2 outs to go. That one hit high and hard with a chance for the Capitals to get one out here, number 32, the catcher. And so the second baseman will take it with ease. Parker Gulliver with a easy take there, and Taylor Patterson, the catcher, will be called out. So up to bat now, the second baseman, Jordan Kamara, with 2 outs down, and the base is loaded. And so he just about takes that one in the leg, but he narrowly dances away from it for ball 1. The scoreboard is showing that it's only 1 out, but it's in fact 2. So that's worth noting. That one quite high as well. So if Jordan Kamara gets out here, I'm sure it's going to be him getting himself out, because the pitching at the moment is not really that aggressive, or that. Oh, and so a huge error there from the shortstop Trevor Clark, and 2 runs will score for the Ilderton Red Army. So a chance there to end the bleeding for the St. John's Capitals here, and that moves the score to 16-6. So really an unfortunate misfield there from Trevor Clark. He could have saved his teammate, Daniel Rice. Unfortunately, a little bit of a mess up there. And so back to the top of the order we go. Alex Thrower here now, and looking to avenge his call earlier on in this inning, actually. So we've gone through the whole lineup now in this one inning, and so it's not looking too good for the Capitals. So 2-0 the count. That one called strike. I believe it's actually a 1-1 count, but scoreboard showing 0-0 now. So there we go, fixed. So 2 down, 1-1 the count now. That one catching the outside right side of the strike zone. Excuse me on that. So Alex Thrower, a little bit of a look into the distance. Daniel Rice with a chance to end the bleeding now. That one swung through and hit. So he will. Oh no! So he's made a little bit of a mistake there, and it looks as though the agony continues for the St. John's Capitals. So Trevor Clark at shortstop. It looks as though some indecisiveness led to another mess up. So that will be making the total error count 8 on today's game. So I guess it's a little groggy in the 8 a.m. games, but that can't be a reason for 8 errors to happen in one game. So that one, Mitch Lemley fouls that one hard and right. That one, ball one, moving the count to 1-1. So although the bleeding is not done yet, it's not sealed yet, Trevor Clark, I'm sure, owes Daniel Rice a postcard and some flowers to the home. Maybe an apology letter. Because he made 2 mistakes thus far to cost a few runs here in the 7th inning to the St. John's Capitals, and really not helping the figures for Daniel Rice now. Base is still loaded and a chance to end the game now. He takes it at second base, and it will be over. So a slow walk from the mound there from Daniel Rice. He did do his best to end the game, or to end the inning, excuse me, and unable to stop the bleeding very much. So there is, I believe, 5 runs total scored in that inning. Should be 16-6 of a score now. So the scoreboard is incorrect on that. So the St. John's Capitals trailing by 10 and heading to the bottom of the 7th inning, looking to do some right, heading into their final game today at 2 p.m. versus British Columbia. So we head now to the bottom of the 7th inning in Victoria, BC on Go Live Broadcasts. So the next game here in the men's 2018 baseball nationals is scheduled to start at 11 a.m., although it is now 10:50. So the start time for the next game will be pushed back. No official time stated yet, but I'm assuming it'll be most likely 11:30 or 11:45. And that means that the schedule for the day will also change. That being the first strike of the day here, and I believe it's the same pitcher at the mound for the Ilderton Red Army. That pitch there moves the count to 1-1. So the scheduled start times for games here on Go Live Broadcast for the rest of the day. The next game will be Quebec versus Alberta here at Royal Athletic Park, and that should be an 11:45 start time, I'm guessing. However, that will be confirmed by Mike Edwards in the next game. And so there will be a game over at Lambrick Park at that time as well, and things are on time and on target there as the first out of the inning occurs. So next game after that is scheduled for a 2 p.m. start, and that will be the host team, the Victoria Mavericks, facing off against Manitoba. And BC will be playing this Newfoundland and Labrador team over at Lambrick Park at the same time. So number 51 up to bat now for the St. John's Capitals, and that is Aaron Flood, the left fielder. So after that, one game this evening. I believe it's a quarterfinal at 5 p.m., but it will be just a little bit later than that. And then a scheduled 8 p.m. start for the other quarterfinal this evening. So I was wrong earlier on. The playoffs do start at 5 p.m. tonight, scheduled. So I'm assuming that it will be slightly pushed back, but you never know how the games will go today. So thus far in this inning, we have 1 out, and number 27 for the St. John's Capitals up to bat now. That's Redmond Hunt, the catcher. He does have a man on first. That one a little high, called for ball 1. That one, same spot, around 78 miles per hour. So a little bit more speed on this pitcher than the last. 2-0 the count now. A man on first and 1 down. So Redmond Hunt looking to dent the somewhat hopeless 16-6 score. But it's never hurts to boost the stats a little bit here. 3-0 the count now, with some room for creativity here in the batter. He watches a strike go by. 3-1 the count now. Strike 2 there, and we move now to a full count. Jeff Big Baby Davis, a big fan of the full count today. 1 out, 1 on first, and Redmond Hunt looks to get on the bases. And he watches that one go outside, so he will walk Redmond Hunt, and that advances his teammate, Aaron Flood, to second. So Daniel Rice coming up to bat now, and looking as though it's a little bit of a dreadful walk. He had a tough inning, half inning, the last one, where he was moved from center field to pitch. And so we'll see if he can try and end off on somewhat of a good note here. He watches that one go a little high. So a tough day for Daniel Rice, although being moved from the center of the field to pitching is not an easy change, as I said before. So not going to be talking anything bad about him. That one's fouled hard into the back net. Oh, so a race for the ball between the umpire and the 2 ball boys is taken by the umpire. And a little nod there to both benches for a big win there for the umpire, Sean Sullivan. Daniel Rice looking as though he's tempted by that one, but he holds back, and that means ball 2 for Jeff Big Baby Davis here. Next pitch is also called ball, so 3-1 the count now. So Daniel Rice gets good contact on that one, but it's floated up to the left fielder, and it's over his head. So Daniel Rice gets 1 run confirmed home, and he's the runner on, I believe that's Redmond Hunt, is getting the break signal. So Daniel Rice gets a double to end off his, I believe that'll be his last at-bat in this game, and so he gets on to second base and brings 1 runner home and advances 1 to third. So 16-7 does not sound as bad as 16-6. So good advancement there by the St. John Capitals, as number 3, Trevor Clark, the shortstop, steps up to bat now. So that one just missing the head of Trevor Clark. That one swung through hard and missed by Trevor Clark. A little bit of a restart here now, looking to get better contact on his next big swing. Trevor Clark now swinging through on that one, and it is fouled onto a local city road. Big swing and miss there, and he's tagged up for the second out of the inning. Trevor Clark unable to get solid contact on any three of his big swings. However, the intention was there. So the designated hitter steps up to the plate now. That's number 1 Parker Gulliver, and Jeff Davis, the Red Army's current pitcher, with a chance now to seal the game. Swung through hard now, and that's fouled to the St. John Capitals bench, and they're looking a little tired. So for the next game coming up here, the start time, as I said, not officially announced yet, but it will be Quebec versus Alberta. That pitch is ball to move the count to 1-1. That one smacked to the second baseman, and a chance to finish off the game here now for the Red Army. And they will win the game.
Guys, let's go.
So the Red Army getting the best of the St. John's Capitals out of Newfoundland and Labrador, 16-7. So a long one today, that's for sure. And we will be heading over to the next game shortly here, Quebec versus Alberta. So stay tuned on Go Live Broadcast for an official start time. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you very shortly on Go Live Broadcasts.